Welcome to the explanation of chapter, The Bond of Love.
In this lesson, the author tells us about the bond of love between his wife and Bruno, a sloth bear. First, let me introduce you all to the characters of this story. So the author of the story, or you can say the narrator of the story, is Kenneth Anderson. Kenneth Douglas Stuart Anderson was an Indian-born, British writer and hunter. He wrote books about his adventures in the jungles of South India. Kenneth Anderson was born in Bolaram. His father, Arian Stuart Anderson, was superintendent of the FCMA in Pune, Maharashtra, and dealt with the salaries paid to military personnel, having an honorary rank of captain. His mother, Lucianne Taylor, was the granddaughter of John Taylor, who, for his services, had been gifted land in Bangalore by Sir Mark Cubbon. Douglas, like most British soldiers, took an interest in sport hunting and influenced Anderson's interest in the outdoors and hunting. Blossom Fleming is the wife of Kenneth Anderson. Blossom and Bruno are the main characters in the chapter The Bond of Love. In this picture, we can see Blossom Fleming playing with Bruno. Bruno is a sloth bear. Bruno's mother died because of getting shot by a bullet. One of the companions of the author unknowingly fired the bullet, considering that it was a wild pig, but later on they realized that it was a sloth bear that was probably running to save her and the life of her child from the wild pigs. After the death of Bruno's mother, the author felt very sorry for that baby bear, so he decided to take Bruno with him as a sovereign of the trip to his wife. He introduced the baby bear to her. She was very happy after meeting Bruno. She took good care of Bruno, as if it was her own child. She taught him manners, way of drinking milk from bottle, how to play with toys, etc. Bruno learned how to drink milk in a very short period of time. But after a few days he started eating and drinking everything. One day, Bruno went to the library of the narrator and by chance consumed barium carbonate, a kind of poison that had been kept to kill the rats. The poison soon showed its effect and Bruno suffered an attack of paralysis. However, Bruno managed to crawl to the author's wife on his stumps. She shouted. The narrator understood that he must have eaten the poison that he kept for rats. He rushed towards his car with Bruno and drove to vet's house. The doctor injected 10 cc of the antidote into him. After 10 minutes Bruno was able to move normally. As days passed, Bruno grew larger in size and could unintentionally harm people in his surroundings. The friends of author and his son suggested them that they should send Bruno to Mysore Zoo. Blossom unwillingly had to send him there. Blossom wrote a number of letters to the curator. How was Baba? Back came the replies. Well, but fretting, he refuses food too. After that, friends visiting Mysore were begged to make a point of going to the zoo and seeing how Baba was getting along. They reported that he was well but looked very thin and sad. For 3 months the author managed to restrain Blossom from visiting Mysore. One day, Blossom said that she wants to see Baba, and if author won't be taking her there, then she will be going there herself by bus or train. The author had to agree and he took her to Mysore via car. Her friends conjectured that Baba would not recognize her. The author also felt the same, but when Blossom was some yards away from his cage, Baba saw her and recognized her. She ran towards his cage, and gave him tea, lemonade, cakes, ice cream, etc. Author knew what Blossom was going to say next. She asked the curator if she can have him back, but they refused and said that it belongs to the government now, and he cannot give away government property. They decided to meet Superintendent Bangalore, so that they can get Baba back. The superintendent was a kind-hearted man and allowed them to have Baba back, He also lent them a cage, for transportation of Baba from Mysore Zoo to their house. An island was made for Baba. It was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide, and was surrounded by dry pit, or moat, 6 feet wide and 7 feet deep.